So this is probably one of the weirdest and craziest life stories that I will have told so far. Not many people will have experienced this in their life. It was really surreal to me, and in the situation I didn't really know what to do. I knew that if something were to happen that I was going to have to do something, but like quite rational I guess, but it was a really weird situation that I didn't expect to be in. So let's get into it. So this was probably, I think it was last year or the year before that. I go on holiday with my mum, my dad, my sister, my nan and my Gramp, or my grandma and my granddad. So we went to Zante with all of those guys that I just named. We were probably been there for about 2 to 3 days when this happened. But basically what happened was, I think me, my sister, my mum and my Gramp were all, there's like this hot tub section where it's like bubbles and you can just sit there, and we were just sat there chatting. All of a sudden these, like, I think they were like Russian or like Ukrainian or some shit like that, they come along and they're in like the fairly shallow end of the pool. It was a really shallow pool in the place that we were staying, and it quite clearly said no diving, right? And my Gramp really didn't like it when these guys came over and started diving, because there were loads of kids in the pool and they were doing it right next to some kids and stopping them from like playing their game or whatever they were doing. So my Gramp starts like saying little comments to them, like just saying like, you shouldn't be diving, like why are you diving, can you not read the sign? Like, it was a clear sign, it had a picture of a person diving and a big ass cross through it. Like, doesn't matter what language you speak, you should know what that sign means. So my Gramp gets out of the hot tub bit, and he was getting really pissed off at this point because these guys were stopping some kids playing, and he really didn't like it because, you know, they were kind of like ruining other people's fun. Like, it might have been fun for them, but they were ruining other people's fun. So my Gramp gets out the hot tubby bit and he says something to one of the Russians, and he knew that they can understand us because my Gramp would say something and they would turn, and we knew that they understood what we were saying. It was quite clear to us that they knew exactly what we were saying just because of the looks that they were giving us and stuff. But my Gramp goes up to this guy, and at this point this guy's still in the pool, and this was the guy that was a real douchebag. The other guy wasn't too bad, he was kinda a nicer guy, like he knew that they were in the wrong kind of thing. But this guy is in the pool and things start getting real heated between him and my Gramp. And keep in mind, my Gramp is probably, I want to say, you know, 60, 70, like, it was a big age gap. This guy was like 30, like I don't know what this guy was thinking. But he gets up out of the pool and he squares up to my Gramp, at which point I leap out of the hot tub bit and I like pull them apart, and I was not moving between this guy and my Gramp, because if this guy were to hit my Gramp, like, that could have been real trouble. And I just stepped in between, and the other guy got out of the pool and sort of calmed his mate down, and I had to walk away my Gramp, because these guys, I genuinely think if I wasn't there, I think my mum got out of the hot tub as well and was like trying to push the other guy away, but these guys, my Gramp would probably have tried to fight him, because my Gramp thinks that he is still like a teenager and he still could take someone on in a fight, when I think he thinks he's a little bit more agile and thinks he can still do things that maybe he might not be able to do, if you get what I mean. He kind of feels he's more than capable of taking this guy on in a fight. Like, when we got back afterwards, after we split the fight up, like, they were really going out, like, shouting and swearing at each other. I'm surprised some of the staff didn't come over and try and sort it out, but we managed to calm down my Gramp, and the other guy managed to calm down his friend, and he, like, came up to my Gramp and he was, like, showing him loads of respect that he did come over because he wanted the kids that were there to have fun, if you see what I mean. Like, he respected that he would stick his neck out for those guys that he didn't really know and let them have their fun again. So we got back to where we were and they got back to where they were. They were like the other side of the pool to us, and I told my dad what happened, and my Gramp said that if he would have done anything, then he would have kneed him in the balls and punched him in the face. So that would have been interesting to see what would have happened if the guy actually did go for him, but my dad wasn't really very happy with it either, you know, because, you know, that's his dad. He didn't, like, the age gap was ridiculous. The guy was an absolute knob, and I have no idea what was going through his head when he was trying to square up to a, you know, 60, 70-year-old guy that was telling him that he was in the wrong when he clearly was. He was just stupid. The guy was absolutely stupid, and if I would have had to do something, then I would have, because the guy was an absolute fucking douchebag. But yeah, that's my life story about the time that I almost had to fight a Russian, and my Gramp almost fought a Russian because they were diving in the pool when they were being knobs, you know, on holiday. And yeah, this has been Krabby, and I'll see you guys later.